Welcome back, everybody. Your home just went up in flames. You're standing there with your head spinning in 1,000 directions. You have nothing but the clothes on your back. What happens next? Are you thinking clearly? What happens next? What are the steps you need to take after the fire's out? In this video, I'm about to give you those steps. Hey, everybody. My name is Stephen Gentile. I'm a firefighter with 38 years of service. I responded to hundreds of house fires, and I can tell you, most people have no idea what comes next. I'm going to walk you through what to do if your house catches on fire, the aftermath, the insurance companies, and all that other stuff. I'm going to tell you what the firefighters are going to do with your home. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you things the insurance company doesn't want you to know or want you to do. And your rights as the homeowner when it comes to the investigations and things like that. So, the fire's out, but the danger isn't, okay? The fire department may keep the scene restricted. They own your home until they release that home back to you, which I'll discuss at the end. They're going to check for hotspots. They're going to probably call the state fire marshal's office in to investigate what the cause of the fire was. If that department doesn't have their own investigation unit, small departments don't. And they're going to start looking for the cause of that fire. Unless it's dark outside or, they're not available at that moment, things might change. They might wait till it's light out if it's a night fire. But eventually, you're going to regain custody of your home. And again, I will discuss this at the end, what your rights are there. While at the scene, your utilities are going to be shut down. Your water, your gas, or your oil, or your furnace, and especially your electricity. All that's going to be cut from your home by the power company out at the street. They're going to pull your meter at your home, but they're going to cut the power to that house at the street. So, once you do regain custody of your house, you need to make sure that it's safe to go back in. And, you have to realize that you're not going to have any of these utilities if the house is not livable. Okay. Now let's get into the reason why you're going to want to download this video, put it on a fire stick, keep it in a fireproof safe, so that if this ever happens to you, you can pull this out, you won't have to think, and you can follow what I'm about to tell you. Okay? On the scene, there's going to be 100 people, board up companies looking for your business. There's going to be private adjusters who are looking for your business. And I will talk about the private adjuster at the end of this video. But you do want to hire one of those. And I'll explain later. But you do want to call your insurance company as soon as you can and start your claim. But when it comes to the insurance company, you need to make a list of things that you have lost. You're going to need to keep receipts of things that have happened after and stuff like that. But I would advise that if you own a home, that you videotape the outside of your home and especially inside of your home, concentrating on the contents, your valuables, what was in the house, so that the insurance company can't question you. And I would save that video, again, in a fire safe proof container, so that you can show them and make things a ton easier if this ever happens. So your insurance company will come out. If it's a day fire, they might come out that day, but you need to start the claim, even if you call at night and leave a message and have them get back to you. But I don't think that's the most important thing right away. When you're standing there and you're watching the firefighters roll the hose and put everything back in, you're going to need a place to stay. Okay? The incident commander is usually the chief of the department or someone that's in charge there. Track him down or her down. Where am I going to sleep tonight? How am I going to eat? I'm standing here with the clothes on my back. You let them know you want the Red Cross to come out. You tell them how many children and how many adults they're going to come out to serve. And they will handle everything from housing, food, to anything you might need to wear for a short period of time. At least clear that off your list. That way, you know that after this devastating thing that just happened,
watching his house
you
burn.
have a place to
He
sleep.
turned around and all of a sudden there's Mr. Jacobs from the Red Cross.
And you will get some other things that the Red Cross will provide for you. That should actually be your first move. Okay? And if you have any other expenses that come out of your pocket, please keep receipts. Okay? So, when do you get custody of your home back? Well, I'm going to discuss that at the end of this video. Okay? But your private adjuster, an insurance company, and all that, they will handle requesting the fire report from the fire department. Not only that, but even after you hire your private adjuster, your insurance company has their own fire investigators, and they're going to come out to the house to make sure and to have their own opinion to see whether it matches what the fire department investigators say and what they're seeing. That's just what they do. Okay? We all know insurance companies are there not to pay us. So that's one thing that's going to happen. And usually when I was the fire chief, I would have my deputy chief accompany the insurance adjuster and the insurance company investigator out to the house, of course with the homeowner's permission, so that if the house is a little dangerous to walk into, or my deputy chief was involved in the investigation, and he will be able to point out what he saw and make this go a little smoother. So that's what's going to happen there. Okay. Your insurance company, after all that's done, will start the process of rebuilding. Okay, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to put a trailer on your property. It's a live-in trailer. It will have a washer and dryer. It will have a bathroom. It will have a couple of bedrooms, a kitchen. That way you can have a place to live while the process goes through. And I'm not going to lie to you. Insurance goes slow. It could take a year or more. As I stated about coming out with the trailer, you could, get some insurance money and relocate, but then you have to sell a property that has no home on it. And you have to pay to tear down the old. So to rebuild would be the way to do it. And I think that that's what I've seen in my career most families do is they rebuild their home. And like I said, it can take up to a year. But your house can be rebuilt the way you want it to, set up the way you want it to, and built with the specifications that you want. But it's going to take time. Construction companies have to work on a timeline. The inspectors work on a timeline. But most of the holdup's going to be your insurance company. And that's why you need a private adjuster. But that's what's going to happen. So, once all that's done, the trauma of this fire, it's going to be real. I mean, you just watched everything you own burn. So, get some help if you need it. The professionals are there for you. All your friends are there for you. And especially the community. In my experience, in my career, the community always reaches out. What do you need? What sizes do you need? How old are your kids? Clothing. What do you need for food? And stuff like that. So your community will always be there for you. So it's not an endless hope that you're on this journey on your own, because you really won't be. So let's wrap it up. So as I stated, it's a long road, but you're not alone. Firefighters, your insurance company, along with your private adjuster, and your community are here to help you. I've seen people lose everything and rebuild bigger and stronger than ever before. And I'll tell you, when I was the fire chief, and I looked into these families or homeowners' eyes, and I saw the devastation, the only comfort I could give them was to let them know that through my experience, it seems devastating now, But in a year or so, when you're living in a nice brand new home and rebuilding your life, it'll be okay. So now let's discuss a couple of things I want to at the end, before we close up this video. Why should you hire a private adjuster? Now trust me, they're going to be all over the scene. 2, 3 of them looking for your business. So you have to choose which one you want to hire. And the reason you want to do that, and your insurance company doesn't want you to do this, but they're not going to tell you that. But the reason that you need to do this is because they work for you. The private adjuster works for you. Your insurance company works for them. Okay? And I'll give you an example. If there's a bunch of clothes in a closet that didn't suffer any fire damage, no water damage, just smoke damage, if you stick with your insurance company, they're going to turn around, they're going to say to you, we're not going to replace those clothes, we're just going to clean. And that will take care of that. Now they know that the smoke's the worst thing that could ever happen to clothes and to furniture and stuff like that. They know they're not going to get that smell out, but they want to save money. So your private adjuster now, because he works for you and he gets commissioned on how much money you receive from the insurance company, he's going to turn around and he's going to tell the insurance company, no way, that stuff's being replaced. End of story. And they save you a lot of trouble with the insurance companies. Trust me, you're going to have enough to do than to be dealing with the insurance and all that stuff that comes with it. Let him fight for you, because that's what he gets. That's what he gets paid for, to fight for everything for you. Whether it's fixed or replaced, let him fight for that. Whether it was there, whether it wasn't, let him fight the insurance company. Take that off of your head and don't do it. Take it right off your list. Hire a private adjuster. Okay? Second, when do you gain custody back of your home? Well, there's some different aspects to that. When the fire's going on, it's usually the fire chief in a smaller community who takes control of the fire. In larger cities, it's usually the officer in charge that will take command of the fire. They're in charge of your home. They own your home. You no longer own that home. They have custody of it until they deem that the fire's out, everybody's safe. And what has to happen? The investigation's over and stuff like that. Okay? Now, the one thing you need to remember, that after all that, unless you are asked to sign a waiver, say they want to investigate this, tomorrow, because it's, 2 a.m. They need to get a waiver from you saying that you could come back on the property with the investigators to go back into your home. Or, if it's a suspicious fire, the fire chief or the incident commander has the right to leave a vehicle with a couple of firefighters in your driveway and keep custody of your home until it's turned back over to you. Now, the thing to remember, if they turn the house back over to you, and all the apparatus clears, no one can come back on that property without your permission, without a search warrant. Remember that. Those are your rights. If you like this video and you'd like to see more content, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can see more content like this. And please go to my channel and watch the other interesting videos, past and what's coming up. I think you'll enjoy it.